Hello everyone, my name is Jean and today, hi everyone, today we are going to, I have nothing here so I have to wave instead. Today we are going to work on some Christmas shaker ornaments. You can use these for tags if you want to. So I will show you how you can use them as a tag or as a ornament. Now let's see how we want to start. I think I'll start with this one here. So I made all these on the Cricut, so I already cut them all out because that would take too much time for us, right? Okay, and I will zoom, come in closer. So what I did is just went off a Cricut, and for this one I just picked an ornament, and so it looked like this, okay? So I just cut out about 6 of these all together, and now normally I would slice this part out on one of them because I don't need it, and then I'd make 5 that look just like this, and one that looks like this, because this is going to go on top of here, and then it's going to make your shaker. So when I make my shakers, I usually just cut extra pieces instead of putting foam tape, because see how thin this is? You'd have a lot of problem getting foam tape underneath there for your shaker. So I just layered. Now I already started layering some of them so that we wouldn't take up a lot of time here. I didn't slice this up because I wanted to show you guys, if you're not really good with the Cricut yet, and you don't know how to do the slicing, all I did, and I'll show you on the other one, is I would just take a big circle that fits right along the edge here and then slice it. But if you're not good at slicing yet and everything, just cut it out like this, and we're just going to cut those all out. And don't worry about it. They don't have to be perfect because the top piece is going to cover everything. So just slice those away on 5 of your pieces. Leave one of them for your top piece. So 5 of them, we want to get rid of these because we're making a shaker. Okay, I'm going to put you on hold for just a second, guys. Okay, I'm back. I forgot the most important part, the shaker bits. So, as I was saying, we're just going to cut those out. And then now we're going to glue this last one together on here. For me, that's an easy way to make shakers. So you're just going to layer a bunch together and instead of trying to put some foam dots. So I'm just going to start up here. Whew. I rearranged my little crafting table, so my camera's in a little bit different spot. Now this one's a little, because I made it so thin, because it's so thin, I didn't make it so thin. I picked this ornament, which I thought would work about the best for me. And it's got a really thin border on it, but that's okay. You can still use it. Don't worry, I have samples. I made one really cool one at the end. My last one. So awesome. Whoops. This is what happens. This is why I glue everything. I glued a lot of it together beforehand, because gluing on glitter is going to take us a little bit longer. Use the fancy little clips, my sewing clips. And we're just going to run the glue. If I can get it to come out of the bottle here. Come on. Just go all the way around the circle. It's a very thin circle, so then I'll go about halfway or so, and I'll just start laying it down. Push it down. You know, you could turn any image into a shaker. You know, it doesn't have to already be a shaker. You can take any image and turn it into a shaker. So look at your images. And if you don't have a Cricut, you know, you can make a shape and then cut out the center with another shape. But I'm telling you, when I got that Cricut, that saved it for me. I was having trouble cutting. My husband passed away about 9 years ago now, and I've always been a big crafter, but I was really starting to struggle, and because of my rheumatoid arthritis, so cutting things out was really getting to be hard. And the fact losing my husband, I really needed to keep going. I needed to keep crafting because that's what got me through, and my daughter. They got me through all that hard time. So I had found the Cricut. The Cricut came out, I think the Explorer came out about 8 years ago, I think. I think about 8 years ago. 7 years ago? 7 or 8 years. I think 8 years now. And when I found that, I'm telling you, that saved my life. Okay, so now we have the acetate. I know it's hard to see the acetate. There we go. So just cut out a circle. We're going to glue it on the back of here. So I'm just going to run a really light line of glue on this piece. So this will be our top piece. It's going to go on top of here. Okay, that's going to be our top piece. So we are just going to put some glue. Run just a real little line there. You don't want too much glue. You don't want, try not to get to seep through. I mean, this glue really adheres, so don't worry. And I just put a couple dots through here. You really don't have to glue these pieces down because it's going to be against the acetate anyways. Okay, so just lay your acetate on. And try not to move it around too much, which I just did, but that's okay. All right, now I'm going to lay it down. And there's some right there I'm going to wipe off quickly. And just kind of flatten it all down. So I know not everybody can afford a Cricut. I have the Explorers, I have the Maker, and I have the Joy. The Joy is a good way to start. Now you can't, there's some things you can't do on the Joy. It's not as strong, but it's a good way to start. I use the Joy mostly for cards, addressing envelopes and stuff like that, and cutting out small things. I don't need to get out my Maker for, big things. So cutting out small things. Okay, so now you have this piece here. And now we are going to glue that on down to here. And then we'll get our shaker going. Okay, so while this is drying, we're going to get this on here. And go ahead and just put a little glue on. Okay, and then we'll just kind of push it up. Make sure it's as even as you can get it. And I'll just put a clip on this piece for right now while I am working on this. This one I made, I believe, 4 inches tall. Make all different sizes, like you want different sizes on your tree. And of course, as a crafter, I like fun things to look at. So glue in there. I will be doing some tags too. So, and like I said, you can use these for tags or ornaments. Mine I'm using for tags right now, or for ornaments, sorry. Okay, so we'll let that sit there for a minute. Now, I like to use 2 bases. You don't really have to, because this is the sparkle paper from Cricut. So you wouldn't really have to use 2 bases, but I do. Now, if you want to use it for a tag, let the white side show. Then you have something to write on your to from. But since I'm not, and I want something pretty on the back, I'm going to flip it over and glue so the red side is on both sides. Okay, so let's glue these 2 pieces together while we're waiting for the other one to dry. And get up there. And we are going to glue that, hold that on there, set it down, and kind of line it up. Now, of course, if I wasn't doing this on camera, I'd put a big book on it, while it dries. But we're on camera, so we'll do the best. And be careful, because it is a slick paper. So it will move on you if you move it around. Get it lined up the best you can. All right. I think that should be good. All right, so now we got the back. And now this one should be all dry. Okay, so now, see, and then, now put as many layers on as you need. Because, some of these shaker mixes have beads and stuff, like pearls and stuff in. So they might not fit in here. So I usually check my shaker mix beforehand to see what I'm going to use. And then I will know how thick to go. So this one I'm going to put, I have this like mix of everything. It's got Christmas trees, it's got gingerbread, it's got stockings in there, red, green, and white. It's got a little of everything. I thought it was a fun mix to use. So we're just going to dump some of that in. You want to dump it in this one, of course. As much as you think you want. I kind of make sure, spread it out good. You want to be able to have some movement in there. There's a piece of plastic in there. We don't want that. Want that. Okay. So just kind of layer it down. So you don't want it too bulky. All right. So now we're going to go and we're going to put some glue around the edge. And then we're going to glue our back on. Okay. Thin line. This glue holds, so don't worry about it. You don't have to like glob it on. And I have some other samples to show you. This was probably my trickiest because I made it, it is such a thin one, but I wanted to show you guys. You know, even with a thin base around there, you can do this. Okay, I'm going to put this on. And we'll try to line it up. Get a grip on it and then try to make sure it's lined up. I just kind of squeeze around here. I don't want to flip it quite yet until I know it's all dry. Okay, or pretty well dry anyways. Okay. Get the glue off my hand so we don't keep getting it on. There's some coming out. All right. Flip it over. And there you have a fun little shaker ornament. Cute. And then you can put ribbon and stuff on. I am waiting for some more ribbon because I'm out, so I won't put ribbon on this one, but my other ones have ribbon on them because I am all out of Christmas colors. There's a fun. See how easy that was to make as a shaker? You know, no foam tape. You know, you just make layers. You just make layers of your, and it doesn't take any more time to cut, you know, six of those than it did. Okay, so that's one. Now we're gonna make this one. So I found this Pretty Joy. I found this Pretty Joy, and this is just how it is. And then this one, I believe I had to make the back on it. So some of them I had to make the back on. Some of them came with a back that was in the shadow. And I can't remember if this one was or not. But so it would be normally just a regular ornament like this. It says Joy. So now again, I cut out 6 of these all together. This one I sliced out, the Joy. But this would be an easy one to cut off. But I wanted to show you both ways. So I just took another circle. And in Design Space, I made the circle just touch on both sides, and then it sliced out the Joy. But again, you could just cut that right out, no big deal. So this one's a little wider. It's already glued some of them together, so I got one more to glue together. So I'm doing this one with the gold glitter and the red, just a plain red. This one, both of these was the sparkle paper and the green glitter on this one. I think that's fun. Okay, and that one was a 4-inch. This one is about 4 1/4. No, this one must have been more than. That one is 5 inches. This was a 5-inch one. And this one's 4 1/4 from top to bottom. Okay, let's glue on these other 2 pieces. Get this one put together. You know, I try not to, you know, as much as I like buying things too, I like crafting, and I try to make it myself, which I'll show you one of my samples. What I did this year, I was going to buy, and I thought, let's try to make it myself. And so I'll show you that sample at the end, and that it can be done. You can kind of, you know, find things and make on your own if you're. And once you get the Design Space, isn't that difficult. Trust me, if I can do it. And now, when I first started looking, and I went on YouTube, searched YouTube, everything, Cricut Explorer. And I also searched Silhouette. I heard a lot of things about Silhouette. Their software is hard to use, and I'm like, oh gosh, don't let me do software. I'm not that good. Then the Cricut Explorer, the old Cricut, I don't know about their software, but the Design Space, I love the Design Space. I think it's easy to use. Yes, there's always changes and updates and stuff like that, but I just kind of relearn and refine things. And I just test. Get on that Cricut and just start pushing buttons, guys. Don't be afraid about pushing buttons. You're not doing nothing but pushing buttons. You're not cutting nothing out yet. You're just pushing buttons and designing on a page. Just start out there. In fact, I did that before I even got the Cricut, because you can pull up Design Space and make an account without the Cricut. Could I? I got on Design Space. I'm pretty sure I did. And just, check the Design Space and see. Actually, I think I had to make an account, but it didn't cost anything, though. I think I had to make an account because it was free. And just so I could look at Design Space a little bit. Okay, now we're going to put our acetate on. And like I said, just start pushing buttons. Okay, and again, if you have any die cuts for like ornaments or trees or something like that, you can still make a shaker. You don't have to have the Cricut. There's other ways to make shaker shapes. Say that 3 times fast. All right, throw this one on here. I put glue up a little too far up there. I didn't need to go up that far, but okay, it's down. And then we're just gonna smush it all on down. Okay, we got some on that side. If you just touch the glue, if you get some that kind of seeps out a little bit, just touch on it and it'll pick right up on your finger. Okay, so now we have our acetate, and now we're going to hook these two together. I'm going to glue these two together. I'm trying to get that. But I didn't have a Cricut for years. Just remember that. So anytime I had to make things in the past, we were basically designing on our own. And it wasn't until I got the Cricut that I could, figure out some of this other stuff and do some other things. And I like to put, I'll put these on gifts. I like to add a little something besides a bow even. Just a little something on a gift that, just to add a little prettiness to it. And you can always write on the back the year. And, even if you don't use it for a tag, just write on the very bottom. You don't have to put to and from even, just write on the very bottom, your name and the year. You don't have to put to and from on the whole thing. People might not like that on their tree. So just put a little thing on the bottom. Okay, so the shaker's done. So here I use 2 layers again. So we're just going to glue those 2 layers together. Come on, glue. Don't you start acting up now here. Let me get the pin. The handy little trusty pin here. Yeah, I usually don't have too much problems with this, but I notice when I'm taping, that's when I start having problems because it's sitting under all these lights, I think. And I don't put the pin back in right away. Okay, put that on. Put it up. Make sure it's as straight as possible. Okay, now we have the back piece. And while that's sitting there, let's put in some sprinkles. This one, I got a little bit of this silver and gold mix. Well, that you can't see. Silver and gold mix left that I want to get used up. So I'm going to use it in this one. And they're just silver and gold sequins. I just want to get this one used up so I can have the bottle for another mix. Get those back in there that are spilling out. Some little itty bitty gold and silver stars in there too. Okay, let's see. You don't want too much so that it doesn't shake either. Okay, put that over there. There's a silver one trying to escape. All right, so now we're just going to put glue around the edges. my bottle wants to cooperate. You don't need a lot of glue though. Okay, let's put the backer on. I think I got that. Okay, sorry, I took it out of camera. You know, I'm okay doing hauls on camera, but still having problems with when I'm doing tutorials. Getting the camera just right. In, out, in, out. I feel like I just don't know if I'm too close or if too far away. All right. So there. Oh, that one's pretty. See if I can show that one. Again, of course, whatever ribbon you want to put in there. Okay, so those we did. And that didn't take us that long. It took us, you know, probably 15 minutes here because I had to run upstairs and get the darn sequin mix that I forgot. And to make those two. Now, of course, you got to cut all the pieces out on your on your Cricut first. So, that actually takes the longest, cutting pieces out. Designing. Now, I don't know about you guys. Anyone who has the Cricut, it takes me hours to design. So, like for some of these, I had to slice things out. Like I'll show you. Okay, so I made this little star. Okay, it's got a lot of clear sequence in there, so you can't really see very well. So what I did was I found a plain star, move that ribbon, a plain star ornament. So it was solid. So it looked like this. Then I found another star that matched this design star and shrunk it down and then sliced it out of the middle. So easy. And this one I did a star, you know, just to show you can use the same shape. But I'll show you, I did something else yet too there. And I think that would be really nice on your tree. Like, if your color theme is like blue and silver on a tree, wouldn't that be pretty? And put all these stars on. And if I wasn't a traditional green and red, that would be gorgeous too. And I got, both of them are sparkle paper. Yep, so maybe you can see this one. That is not glitter on there. That's sparkle. So it's a smooth, it's Cricut. And then the blue. And the 6 layers. I almost always do like 6 layers. Like I said, that's how I like to do my shakers. I don't like to use all the foam tape and all that stuff. So there's a star. I had some silver ribbon in my stash. So I put that on there. Now this one, the tree, let's get the ribbon out of our way, was a bell. Just like that. It was just a bell ornament that I found in Design Space. And then I found a tree that I liked. You don't want to go too intricate with your tree where it's got a lot of things inside. You just want a basic tree shape. And then I centered it and sliced it out. Let me see if I can get that glare off. And then just slice the tree out. There's a little star on the tree. And then just slice that out. See how you can see that. And then get that light. It's like a useless battle trying to get that light off. And this is gold sparkle paper and the green inside. And then just put the gold on. I mean, you can take, like I said, take any design, guys. Go in there and just play. If you've never been on the Cricut before, just go in and play on the Cricut and see what you can do. Now, at the last minute, I was just about ready to wrap it up and let's show you guys and do the video. Then I'm like, you know what? Okay. This one I bought last year. I paid around $25 for it through a catalog, whatever. I love it, but it wasn't very nice. Okay, so I still have to glue it back together, but look it. Can you see all the layers are not stuck together? I thought, come on, that's not, it's like a plexiglass. So it is not glued together. And I thought it was a broken piece too. Yeah, there's a crack up there. I don't know if you can see it. Not the silver, but there's a crack. It came broken, everything. I'm like, I wonder if I can make something like that. So just before I come running, I finally got it finished before I came running down here the tape because I want to get this out to you guys because Christmas is coming. This is what I came up with. So I used the Cricut basswood. It's really thin wood, cuts perfect on the maker. I made a snow globe. Okay, I put in, so we have the 2 dogs, the paw prints, and then me, Abby, and my daughter. And those are little ornaments because I was going to do snowflakes, but the snowflakes didn't cut it all. The tips of the snowflakes kept breaking off. So I needed something more smooth because the dog prints, they cut out perfect. The dog paws, they cut out perfect. So I needed something like that. So I did ornaments. So what I did, it was, the basswood is a really light, it's light wood like this. And I'm like, do I want to leave it like that? So all I did to make it a little darker is I took, what is that one called? Gathered twigs. And I dipped in and just rubbed it around. Just rub it all over the wood. Make it as dark as you want, as light as you want, whatever. I had made, this one's got 3. I had 2 levels. But these didn't shake around as good as like. You don't want to go too big because you don't want them to flip around in there either, so you don't see the name. But 2 levels, they kind of stuck against the plastic, the acetate. So I have 3. So all I did with that was, it had a layer on it. I forget how the snow globe was in the thing. Was it separate? Did I cut that out or was that separate? Now I can't remember now. And then, so I just got the 3 layers of this top piece. And then I put just some clear sequins in just to give it a little sparkle. Put 2022 down there. I don't put the family name. Like this one here, you could have put had the family name on it too. But because I have my niece right now, I didn't want, like, her last name, of course, is different than my last name. So I didn't want, to have the, 2 different last names and stuff. So I just left no name. I just put the Christmas year on. So I thought that turned out pretty good. I used art glitter glue to glue this all together, this wood. Art glitter glue holds really, really well. It's like, I don't think I can even try to pull those apart. I tried and I can't even get in there. So don't worry about that. This one I put a little twine up here. And then I had some brown and some tan ribbon, which I had that because that's not a Christmas color, So I had that in my stash. And I thought let me get all those straight out. For what I paid for this, and the fact that, like I said, I have to repair it. I didn't even know. I don't know if that was like they have, or maybe they don't even screw that because they have like they have a little screw there. They have screws, so they don't even glue that. But this heart, I just pulled this out of my Christmas box right away so I could show you guys. The heart fell out right away. So they actually don't glue it together, but I'm going to glue it together. They should have some screws on the side too. They have a screw. They have a screw here, and a screw there. That's it. So that heart came out, and so I had to put the heart back in. But I'll do some repair on it. I love the jar. I thought it was really cool, but I was not happy with the fact that it came broken. And for the price I paid for this, it was 1 sheet of basswood. And it was my last sheet, so I have to get some more. And which you can get that off of Amazon too. And, I'll tweak it. It was a quick, I put it together quickly. So, but you can make that out of paper. You don't need to use wood. Okay, that's another thing I was going to tell you guys. You can make this out of cardstock. It does not have to be wood. You just have the paper pieces. I would layer 2 or 3 together to make it a little thicker. And then you wouldn't need maybe 3 layers of paper depending. So just play with it and see how many. I always cut out more layers than I need so that I can play with it and with the sequence mix and all that stuff. You can do this with paper. I should have made one with paper for you guys, but you can do this the same technique with paper. You don't have to do it with wood. So those are our shakers. I hope you guys enjoyed learning a little bit about how to make shakers. And, you can, like I said, you can use these for tags too, but I'm doing a tags video. So I didn't want to, get them mixed up. But take anything, cut it out, and make it a shaker. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed this one. And please give me a like, a subscribe, and maybe we can get to 1,000 by Christmas. That would be nice so we can start doing some lives. All right, everyone, I will see you in the next one.